fine. My name is Sheila Caldwell. I am the president and founder of the Heart to Heart Foundation, and that blur of energy that you see there is Carol Green from the Taste of Healing. And today we are kicking off National Women's Health Week. So, happy National Women's Health Week. And we thought we would invite some of our favorite women that over the years we have done special programs with. And we have actually had an opportunity, to do educational programs and events with over the years. So we thought this week, especially during this time of quarantine, we would invite them in and do kind of like a lunch and learn every day this week. So we're so glad you could join us. So today is Meatless Monday at our house. And we started this many years ago after my heart attack and after my husband, Bill, had his triple bypass. So we really focused more on a plant-based diet. And so especially on Mondays, that is Meatless Mondays. With rare exception, I won't eat meat on Monday. That's just become my thing. And it's really helped me keep my numbers down, keep my cholesterol numbers down. So that's been a big help. If you're like us, you probably have a stash of those quarantine foods, those staple items that you have, that the non-perishables that you can make some quick dishes out of, add some fresh fruits and veggies to that, and you can make a delicious meal. Well, so my challenge to my dear friend Carol Green today was to take some of those things that we may all have in our quarantine food stash and things that you might find if you went in and picked up some items that you could make a tasty, nutritional, budget-friendly dish for Meatless Monday. So that is our challenge today. I'm going to bring Carol back on with us. So everybody, please welcome, yay, Carol Green.
Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much, Sheila. Sheila, you're a great inspiration for us, reminding us about heart health and eating healthy foods. So at Taste of Healing, I'm a nutritional therapist and I'm a chef. So I work with a wide spectrum of different diet protocols. And my thing is looking at the person's genetic presentation and their blood chemistry and figure out the right diet for them. But there's one thing that's common for everyone, is that everyone really needs to be eating more plant-based foods. It's quite amusing to me when I, plan a diet for somebody and I ask them to tell me what they ate the last week. They'll tell me about the protein first. They'll say, I ate salmon with broccoli, or I ate beef with asparagus. They're sort of in their minds, they're planning the meat protein first. So I kind of want to flip the script and encourage you all to be giving plant-based food center stage. You really should be thinking about what are the plants that you're going to put on your plate, and sort of complement those plants with some protein. Now, here's the thing with protein. You can get terrific protein from plant-based sources. I know that meat is in sporadic supply. Sometimes you go to a grocery store and there's just no chicken, there's nothing, So I really want to encourage you to start making more plant-based meals for the family. So Sheila's challenge to me today is actually something that I've had top of mind, because if you're anything like me, your pantry is probably looking something like this, right? You got a bunch of these cans of beans, or maybe some rice that you stockpiled, and now you just don't know what to do with them at all. Okay, so unfortunately we could not get StreamYard to go to my phone, which is normally how I do this in the quarantine kitchen. So I'm on my laptop and I'm going to be angling my laptop up and down so that you can see what I'm doing here with my hands, which is kind of an unusual situation. So what am I going to make you? I am making you a burrito bowl, a plant-based burrito bowl. And I know it's one of your favorite things, isn't it, Sheila? A burrito bowl.
It is. I love them.
Yeah. So I really love working with spices. It's my thing. You can wake up so many things with spices, and not only do they taste amazing, but spices are also very, very healing to the body. They're very thermogenic, so they boost up your metabolism. They have, depending on what spice you're using, they have a myriad of healing properties. So I really want to encourage you to add spice to your food. And, the younger that you introduce spices to your children to sneak them in, that's the more that their palate will get accustomed to it. So you may have heard of chicken tinga. Chicken tinga is a Mexican dish, sort of Caribbean Mexican influence. You'll find it in the Caribbean as well. So I'm making the flavors of the tinga sauce today with roasted vegetables instead of the chicken, all right? And we are serving it with Caribbean black beans and rice. So black beans are a terrific source of protein. I think it's 5 grams in a cup of protein. It's, that's good. It's a good whack of protein, and you've got fiber, which is terrific for keeping you full, of course. And it's great fiber to actually take care of promoting gut health. Prebiotic fibers that are in beans. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, but beans, give me gas." It all depends on how the beans were prepared, and you buy them in a can. Make sure you rinse them real well. If you're going to cook them from scratch, make sure that you are soaking them really well. So I'm going to put my trusty stove here and try to angle this camera down so that you can see my hands. Is it working? If somebody give me a thumbs up. Sheila, does that work? Does that work?
That works great. Actually, it
awesome.
does. And I was kind of joking in the chat box that beans are God's little whisk broom.
Absolutely.
Keep everything going like it's supposed to. But yeah, good one.
So let's get started with the tinga sauce. So the recipe is already on tasteofhealing.com. And you might look at this and go, "Oh no, that's like so many different things going on." You can use components of this. You can break it down into different ways. So what I've got here working is some onions, all right? Because, onions take a little while to work. You want to do them over heat that's not too high because they burn pretty easily because of the sugars in them. But onions are a great source of quercetin. The whole allium family is actually very, very valuable anti-cancer. Here's a little tip for you. If your onions start burning while you're working it, just put a dash of water on the side of your pan. Be careful if you have a ceramic pan. You don't want to crack your pan. Woo! It's a free facial for me over here in the kitchen. And then I'm going to put in garlic. If the recipe says 2 cloves of garlic, you'll probably find me using 4 cloves of garlic. I really love garlic. Again, the allium family, extremely valuable anti-cancer food. Guys, these are all the foods that we should be eating right now. This is what we should be doing right now to boost our immune systems and, boost our immunity. I know that in the beginning we were all eating comfort foods and kind of feeling sorry for ourselves, but we really want to move past that and just eat a whole lot of healthy food. So I'm going to do this in the speeded up version. Usually I would let this saute for about another 5 minutes until the garlic is really nice and soft and the onions are nice and soft. And here come along the cans. So I'm using a can of fire roasted tomatoes. You can also use just any old regular tomatoes that you like into the pan that it goes. And something that I really have checked and found it all over the place is these AAA peppers in adobe sauce, okay? This can, which is huge, this is a 12-ounce can, only cost about $1.50. Really not very expensive. And what I've done is I've taken some of the peppers and I've chopped them up, okay? There they are, chopped up. So it's about 2 or 3 of the peppers chopped up. And it just, this is the tinga, this is the essence of the tinga flavor. It's giving you that wonderful smokiness and depth of flavor. And here's a little pro tip for you. Anytime you can do something that can freeze, make double. So when you're making this tinga sauce, go ahead and double the recipe. And I like to freeze things in those freezer-safe mason jars. Just go ahead and freeze a whole lot extra in there. So I made a little trip recently to Compare Foods where they have all kinds of spices and really, really reasonable. And this is the Mexican oregano. You could use regular oregano as well. So that's going to go in. There it goes. And then we're just going to put in a little touch of cumin. In it goes. Okay. And of course, you would use some salt. And my little secret weapon that I like to do in my sauces is soy. Okay. We're going to put in some soy. And then you can use chicken broth or water, just whatever you've got. I mean, vegetable broth, if you're staying to the Meatless Monday. All right. In this beautiful sauce, you're going to let it simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes. You want the tomatoes to fall apart. You want it to really, all the flavors to marry together and get really, really happy, okay? So this is just a wonderful, wonderful antioxidant dish we've got going on here. Let me show you the one that I've had simmering for about half an hour on my stove top. Okay, so there's the tinga sauce, beautifully simmered, like just looking really, really gorgeous. And I got to tell you something, I really wish we had smell-o-vision in this kitchen because it smells amazing. It smells so fantastic. All right, now we're on to preparing your Caribbean black beans and rice. And what makes it Caribbean is the spices and the coconut milk. And cans of coconut milk, I know I've seen them at every store. I've checked. You can find them, you know, just virtually any store you can find cans of coconut milk. So this recipe pretty much begins the same way. We're going to have the trilogy of the onions and the garlic starting off the recipe. And I'm just going to make a little half recipe here from what's on the website because I've got a huge pan of this already ready for you. So in go the garlic and the onions. And we're going to give these a, you know, same thing. Let them sweat down. Let them get really, really happy. Okay, let them cook down. All right. All right, garlic and onions. Let those sweat down for about a good 5 minutes because, you know, you can't hurry love or garlic or onions, right? they've got to cook slowly. And then let's just do a half recipe here. The recipe on the website says 2 cups of rice. I'm just doing a half recipe with a cup of rice and give the rice a really, really good cook. All right. Now, as far as the spice goes, on the website, I listed Creole spice. Honestly, if you don't have Creole spice, which you can pretty much find at any grocery store, you can use any chili that you like. This is just a chili blend that I picked up at the grocery store that I'm going to use in this recipe. And in it goes. All right. And then your black beans. Beautiful, beautiful black beans. They're so versatile. I love them. Make sure that you've drained them really well. And those go in there. And then we're going to put in the coconut milk, which is the Caribbean influence. And we're just going to top it off with water or vegetable broth if you have it, okay? But there's so much flavor going on in here, the water will just taste absolutely fine. All right. Then you're going to bring that to a simmer and put the lid on. And it's going to take about 25 minutes at a very, very low heat, just gently simmering. What I like to do is turn the heat off completely when it's done and just let it finish cooking. Alrighty, let me show you the finished product. Been very busy here in the quarantine kitchen this morning getting this all ready for you. Okay, check that out. There is the beans and rice. Okay, so there's the beans and rice, okay? So now we've got the tinga sauce down. We've got the Caribbean beans and rice down. So what is going to be the meat today? Well, what I discovered is if you take certain vegetables and really roast them, you can get that kind of meatiness out of them. And, you know, cauliflower is like the new stand-in for just about everything, right? Cauliflower is so versatile. And the other thing that I like to use is mushrooms. So what I've got here in this tray is cauliflower. Sorry, let me just grab it. Okay. All right. So in this pan, we're going to put cauliflower florets in the pan. Now, I put my vegetables together according to how long they're going to take to cook. And I know that cauliflower and mushrooms cook at about the same time. So in go the mushrooms. So I'm using mushrooms because they really give you like a wonderful, wonderful kind of a meatiness, you know. All right. So here is my little trick for giving you that kind of meaty, roastiness that you need when you're not using meat. And here it goes, guys. Here's my secret. You're going to use a combination of good balsamic vinegar. I'm using coconut aminos, but you can use soy sauce or tamari sauce as well. This is going to give you the saltiness. It's going to give you that rich depth of flavor, that kind of what I call the umami, that sort of sixth sense of flavor that you're like, oh, what's that? It tastes amazing. I don't know what that is. And then you're going to use some oil, of course, because you want it to roast. All right. So you're going to put that all over the veggies, and you're going to give them a good stir. And then make sure it's all nice and coated. And then you want to put it in a hot oven. You want to put it in a 450 oven. And when you pull it out, okay, about 20 minutes, every 20 minutes, you're going to give it a stir, put it back in. It's going to take about 35 to 40 minutes total. And this is what we end up with. We end up with the cauliflower and the mushrooms that are so deep with flavor. They're all nice and roasted and crispy, and you really got that kind of wonderful umami that's going on from the vegetables. Then the second vegetable that I'm using is sweet potato. And originally I was going to use butternut squash, but you know, these really are traditionally fall vegetables, but I know that sweet potatoes, you can find them pretty much through the whole summer. So you could use butternut squash here. In fact, you could use a variety of just about any vegetable that you've got in your fridge. This is a great time for you on Meatless Monday to open the fridge. Whatever you got in the fridge, you just roast it up. You got zucchini, roast it up. You got some asparagus, roast it up. You got some broccoli. Actually, broccoli is delicious roasted. So the sweet potato I like to put onto a pan and roast separately, because depending on the age of the sweet potato is how long it's going to take to cook. Have you ever followed a recipe and the sweet potato is supposed to cook in like 20 minutes and it doesn't? And other times in 20 minutes it's falling apart? That depends on the age of the sweet potato. Seriously, the younger ones are going to be much firmer and they're going to take longer to cook. And the sweet potatoes that are a little bit more aged, there's nothing wrong with them. In fact, you know, their antioxidant properties are even better, but they're going to take a little bit less time to cook than younger sweet potatoes. So there's an interesting little thing for you. So sweet potatoes, I also put them on a separate pan and let them roast. And you can see that they have got these beautiful dark golden colors to them. And this is where you've got your nice meaty standing flavor, is from giving your vegetables the roasted treatment at high temperature with my little secret sauce that I put over my roasted vegetables. And that's what's going to give you the yum and everything else. Okay. So now I'm going to take a bowl and let's grab one right here. I'm going to take some of these veggies and I'm going to toss them with the tinga sauce. So I've got my sweet potatoes here. Put that in. Okay. In goes the cauliflower and the mushrooms. Fantastic. Oh, this is smelling so divine, and I'm just telling you, I think Meatless Monday is off to a good start here. And then you want to put on just enough tinga sauce just to sort of get everything coated in the tinga sauce, okay? Oh, you guys, this smells and tastes, I'm sure it's going to taste amazing. It smells absolutely fantastic. All right. So let me just show you that, what I got going on there. So I've got this bowl where it's all just, the veggies are getting nice and coated in the tinga sauce. All right. So that's what that's looking like. Yum, yum, yum. All right. So now we've got our roasted veggies with the tinga sauce. We've got our Caribbean and mushrooms waiting on the side. So you could make a burrito with a burrito wrap and just wrap up those things and you're good to go. But I really like to make the power bowls, what I call the burrito bowls or the power bowls, where everything is kind of a little bit composed. It's not sort of all, you know, together in one place. So you could use any variety of things that you like for your vegetable component. Today I'm using kale and white cabbage. I would have liked to have used red cabbage, but I couldn't find any yesterday. Red cabbage is also all of your vegetables with color. Try to eat your vegetables with color as much as you can, okay, for the phytonutrient and the anti-cancer and the antioxidant properties in there. So I've got kale here, and I'm just going to add in a little bit of cabbage. So we got cabbage and kale together here. Alrighty. Okay. And we're going to do just a little bit of a quick dressing for this. I'm just going to put in some apple cider vinegar. I love apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is actually really, really good for helping to balance your blood pressure. Dijon mustard, Dijon mustard, and seriously, whatever vinaigrette you've got left over that you've got lying around, just use that. Don't Meatless Monday, this dish is a base template, and you can really go to town with the flavors and use up whatever you've got in your pantry. And then we're just going to drizzle in some olive oil to that. And then, you could use honey like I've got on the website, or if I could get the lid off this. The lid won't come off my stevia. Okay, so I won't put sweetener in this one. Stevia, or I like monk fruit as well, or no sweetener as well. Just very lightly dress your base greens. You don't need to put a lot of dressing on them, because you really don't want them to be sort of too wet, shall we say. Just work those through. So you got your kale and you got your cabbage here. Oh my gosh, this is going to be just probably one of the best of these power bowls that I've ever made. I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic. All right, we're going to put it all together now. So I like to pick a bowl which is sort of deep and flat like this. A soup bowl or something like that will work just great. And we're going to begin with some of these Caribbean beans and rice. Okay, look at this beautiful, beautiful big dish of Caribbean beans and rice. Oh, it smells fantastic. Okay, so I like to do it kind of composed. So we're going to put the rice along one side like this. Beautiful. I'll see you in 10 minutes, Sheila. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is smelling amazing. It's going to be so yummy. All right, then put down your salad base then, like this on the other side. All right. Here goes the salad base. And then come the star of the show, the meat component for the Meatless Monday, which is the veggies that we gave them the high roasted treatment, which will be a fantastic stand-in for the meaty component, which we want to leave behind today. Okay. All right. So you could just leave it just like this, and it could be for, if anyone's vegan, you can leave it just like this. But, life is better with cheese, isn't it? So we're going to top it off with some cheese. And then I've got a little bit of queso fresco left over from my Mexican extravaganza I did last week. So why don't we top it off with a little bit of queso fresco. And there we have it. Move the camera back up. There we have your Meatless Monday burrito bowl with roast vegetables tinga, Caribbean beans and rice, and a whole lot of deliciousness. What do we think, Sheila?
Oh my gosh, I'm starving. I know what you and Tegan are having for lunch.
Yes. I'm going to be dropping off some food for some friends today.
That looks, and I love power bowls because, it makes such an easy lunch or dinner,
Yeah.
and you get everything in. And the thing that I love about this recipe, and I've kind of been posting in the chat while you've been, cooking, is everything that you put in there are heart healthy foods,
Yes.
that nourish your body.
Mm-hmm.
And also they don't add a lot to our waistline either.
That's right. That's right.
We're
Yeah.
gaining so much weight from fast foods and processed foods and convenience foods, but just eating real food,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it makes such a difference in
Right.
your blood
Right.
pressure, your cholesterol, your sugar numbers, everything. And I can only imagine what your kitchen smells like right now. I mean, I'm like
The
starving.
spices, the adobe here, and and the Creole seasoning, the chili seasoning, it all smells absolutely amazing. So it doesn't really have. It can be really affordable to eat well. You don't have to spend a lot of money to eat well. I mean, I think I need to do a little exercise and try and price out the dish. A lot of these things were, lurking in my pantry for a while. So if you don't have black beans, guys, use whatever you like. Use pinto beans. Use kidney beans. You could use butternut for the sweet potato or any other root vegetables. You got, some asparagus to use up, some zucchini to use up. Make Monday. This dish is so forgiving. You can do all sorts of things with it. Just make Mondays where you open the fridge and just pull it all out onto the counter, what you've got left to do. And if your children won't eat it like as a burrito bowl, let me tell you a secret, okay? Roll it up into a burrito and they'll eat it. Okay. The other thing that you can do is you could put a crunchy tostada in a burrito. And put your ingredient, your rice on the bottom, okay?
Yeah.
And your vegetables. Put the tostada down. Put down more vegetables and cheese, okay? And then close it up with another tortilla on top, like a little parcel, and put it in a pan and make it crispy on both sides. And they cut it, all that cheese comes out, right? That's a way that you can get the children to eat it. If they won't eat it like a bowl presentation, put it in taco, put it in a burrito. Even pour some sauce over and bake it as an enchilada, and they'll eat it. They won't miss the meat at all. It's what you do for the kids.
And you really don't. When you get used to not eating a lot of meat, which in this country we tend to treat the meat as the star of the plate.
That's right.
When in actuality, your serving size for your meat on your plate should be like this big.
That's right.
It. It should be treated as a side part, not the main attraction of your plate. And especially now, because I've seen a lot of people online just kind of lamenting the fact that, oh my gosh, you can't find meat at the grocery store. And I'm like, it's okay. You can eat well and it's delicious and also healthier for you. And if you priced meat lately, you can do a lot with beans and mushrooms and quinoa and all of those things to get your protein. You don't need meat. To get protein.
I called US Wellness Meats, who are a supplier, to chat about the situation and see what was happening going forward. And their opinion is that it will correct itself, it will come right. But they do predict that we are going to be seeing higher prices for meat.
Yeah.
And even when this pandemic began, I would go to the grocery store and the produce section was beautiful. And and the meat was gone. You couldn't even. I mean, I remember at one point, you could find a bit of pork, and that was it, right? So, I really want you guys to focus on flipping the script and focus on. I'm going to be posting a lot more plant-based recipes. Sheila, can I tell about what I'm doing over the next 2 weeks?
Please, and I did post the recipe for this. So if you guys look in the chat box, the recipe for the roasted vegetable tingo burrito bowl, boy, that's a mouthful, literally, is there in the chat. But yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to close out with was tell them what you have going on at Taste of Healing. And we can certainly come back and post that for you so that they can take advantage of it. So go for it.
Thank you. So, I've just noticed by what I'm reading, with the comments, I think that a lot of people are, kind of struggling right now in many areas of life. And we're under an unprecedented amount of stress. And when you're under stress, you want to head and eat the comfort foods, the candies and the pizza and the cookies, because we're living in our sweatpants right now, right? But the issue is with eating like that is not only are we in danger of gaining weight. I know that my buttons are social distancing a little bit right now. I've been buying my daughter treats and partaking as well. But the bigger issue, the more serious issue, is that this is going to deplete your immune system. This is going to weaken your defense.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So for longevity, it's not wise. And the other thing is that we don't know. There's talk about a second wave of this virus. We just don't know. Okay. Either way, we know that a lot of people have been exposed to the virus and their body's natural defenses fight it off. So if you want to fight it off and strengthen your body, I have put together a 2-week program called Nourish, Heal, Thrive. Now, I know that saying you're going to do a program is the easy part, but actually doing it is the tough part. So I have teamed up with Joy Canup, who is a life coach. She's a wonderful leadership woman. And we have put together this program to help you with not only the food. Okay, I'll be cooking live. I'll be posting the menu plan, and the recipes are all on an app which is free for you to use during the program. Okay, so you can literally take your phone to the grocery store and there's your grocery list. The food will be based on an adrenal reset plan, because when we are under stress, it really taxes the adrenal glands. It makes us very tired, and it makes us crave carbohydrates. Now is not the time to do a very stringent detox or something, very, very stringent. We're under too much stress right now. So it's a nourishing plan to heal the body, to help to calm down the adrenal glands and make you feel better and get your energy back. Okay. The food is going to be delicious. There's a lot of plant-based recipes, but there's also meat. You can choose whichever way you want to go.
Yep.
So you're going to eat well. They're family friendly. And I have also invited a whole slew of amazing women as coaches during the program. I have a business coach. I have Nia and Yoga Live. I have a clutter consultant to help you de-stress your environment. I have a style coach. So Nourish, Heal, Thrive starts on Wednesday, and I would love you guys to join. I've put it up at a price to reflect the where we are right now. Okay, so 2 weeks of live small group coaching and support.
Sounds fabulous, because you and I both know if you don't care for your body, especially with the stresses, if you have type 2 diabetes, it's going to make your A1C go crazy. You're going to increase the cortisol in your body. You're going to start putting on weight, which is going to make your blood pressure go up. So all of this kind of plays together. And that's the thing about National Women's Health Week we wanted to really talk about was take care of what you are putting in your body and what you're doing for your body. So Carol, one of the things that we're doing this week too, to help women stretch their budgets, and maybe if they need a new pair of yoga pants like I do, you know that in my office, that's what I'm wearing is yoga pants. But what we're going to do, and here is the secret code. So I'm going to put the link in the chat box of a form. And so every time, and we're going to do this show Monday through Saturday. So tomorrow we have Betsy O'Brien from NAMI. We're going to talk about mental health. So we're going to talk about the outside, the inside, the spiritual, the mental, everything that goes into being women. And they can see the list of great guests that we have like you this week. And so every day, every time a woman watches this show and they get to the end of the broadcast like they are now, we are going to post a link where they can sign up. And here is the secret word. The secret word, or the secret code for today is, and you'll like this one, is real food.
Yay!
Because isn't that really what it comes down to is just eat real food.
That's right.
Lay off the junk. It's not that you can't, every now and then to have those treats that you mentioned earlier. But when you do that on a day in, day out basis, you and I both know that your bodies were not created to process that stuff, and that it's going to catch up with you.
That's right.
Big time. So thank you so much. Again, the recipe is in the chat. Go to tasteofhealing.com. That's also linked in the chat. Check out Carol's program starting on Wednesday. She's got a great guest lineup. I've already kind of taken a sneak peek at some of the things she's got planned. It's priced very affordable. And again, the code word is real food. And happy National Women's Health Week. Thank you, Carol, for joining us. Man, I wish I could reach through there and just grab that, because I'm
I wish I could. Yeah, let me pass.
That looks fabulous. I'm envious of whoever gets to eat that. But thank you so much. Love you very, very much.
Thank you for having me, Sheila. Have a
Thank
beautiful day.
you. You too. We will see you later. All right, folks. So join us again tomorrow at noon when Betsy O'Brien from NAMI, Piedmont Tri-County, will be joining me here on our live chat at lunchtime to talk about mental health. See what we can do to kind of help ourselves, but to help each other, help our families. So until tomorrow, have a great day, and thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.